Thanks for clicking on the video. If you like what you hear, please drop a comment and say hi. It'd help me out a lot.
The bar was a cacophony of noise, clinking mugs, low growls of laughter, and the occasional sharp clatter of a dropped plate. In a dark corner booth, away from the worst of the crowd, three figures leaned in over their drinks.
Gorvax of the Uthrax thudded his mug down and bared his jagged teeth in a grin. His scaled arms flexed as he leaned closer to the others. "You two ever see that Terran training record? The one in the frozen wasteland?"
Across from him, Drenna of the Vikcar tapped a clawed finger against her glass, the green fluid within trembling with each sharp click.
"Training record? You mean another one of their dramatizations? Humans love to glorify their own suffering."
Trelm of the Kulari simply raised an elongated brow ridge, the faint realm of his neural web pulsing a soft coal, and waved a hardened unfocused. Terrans produce survival horror stories the way Zavarians produce mating dances, excessively and with disturbing enthusiasm.
Gorvax chuckled, a deep, rolling sound. "No, this one was different. They fought a creature that could become any one of them, wearing their faces, their voices."
Drenna laughed, a smooth chine.
"Paranoia, isolation, cold. Sounds like a standard human Tuesday."
Trelm sipped his drink with clinical detachment.
"Overreaction is a human pastime."
They all laughed, for now. Gorvax wiped froth from his jaw and leaned closer, voice lowering.
This wasn't some mild discomfort. They were in the worst conditions imaginable. Endless darkness, temperatures that could kill in minutes, winds that could flay flesh from bone. Even Drenna paused, her amusement flickering. The Vikcar would have lasted perhaps a few days, with proper thermal gear. Trelm gave a slight nod. Statistically, environmental attrition alone should have accounted for 70% casualties within a fortnight.
But they didn't die.
Gorvax rumbled. They adapted, built fire barriers, watched the winds, treated the cold like another enemy.
Drenna sipped her drink slowly now, her multifaceted eyes narrowing.
Environment, isolation, already the battlefield was against them. And still, Trelm said quietly, the true enemy had not yet revealed itself. Gorvax thumped his chest once. The monster could become them, exact copies, flesh, mind, memories.
Drenna froze, all 6 limbs stilling.
That is no mere enemy. That is dissolution, chaos. Trelm's voice turned analytical, cold. An enemy that annihilates trust is deadlier than an army. One cannot maintain cohesion. Chains of command collapse. You fight shadows and yourself. Gorvax nodded, eyes gleaming. They had no way to know who was still themselves, Drenna murmured. And yet they remained.
For a time,
Trelm said, almost gently. But fear was inevitable. Fear breeds errors. Wolvax shook his head. Not errors. They made choices. It was the way he said it, low, respectful, that made Drenna sit up straighter.
They started isolating,
Gorvax said. Anyone acting strangely, gone. Sometimes no proof, just suspicion. Drenna flexed a lower arm, nervously. The Vikcar have executed deserters mid-battle, but to eliminate your own based on mere suspicion. It was tactical, Trelm said, though there was a rare edge to his voice now. Containment strategy. Quarantine protocol taken to its brutal extreme. Fire, Yovac said softly. Their weapon of choice. Burn the infected. Burn the suspected.
Drenna clicked her mandibles.
Even their living comrades. Dorvax's silence was the only answer needed. Trelm leaned forward, the lights of the bar catching the silver shimmer of his neural net. They fought not for survival, but to ensure the creature never left that frozen tomb. Victory was secondary. They fought to die in place, Drenna whispered.
None of them laugh now. They devised a test.
Gorvax continued, voice reverent now. They heated metal, hot enough to sear instantly, jabbed it into blood samples, watched for a reaction. Trellm's neural web flickered faster, processing. An organism perfectly mimicking flesh would still retain defensive reflexes. Brilliant, ruthless. Drenna hissed between her fangs. No trial, no appeal. Blood boils, or you die. Immediate action. Gorvax agreed. Minimal risk. Trellm studied his drink as if seeing it for the first time. No hesitation, no remorse, only efficiency. Drenna gave a slow, deliberate nod. In that moment, they placed the survival of all higher than the survival of the individual. A concept we claim to understand, Trellm used. Yet one they live. The humans, Trellm said softly. Weaponized fear. Gorvax grunted. They didn't deny it, didn't hide from it. They embraced it, Drenna added, almost in awe. Trellm's voice turned grim. They understood that when fighting an enemy without shape, without mercy, paranoia itself becomes the shield. They became monsters, Drenna whispered. No, Gorvax said, shaking his great head. They became something worse. They became fire. Fire that would consume themselves before letting the darkness win. The bar noise seemed distant now, swallowed by the weight of their conversation. Trellm flexed his elongated fingers, the neural web dimming. If such beings face a threat they cannot conquer, they simply ensure it cannot conquer anything else. Gorvax sat back heavily, his chair creaking under his mass. In the end, they killed it, burned it with fire, buried it in ice. Silence clung to their table. Drenna stared into her drink, her claw tapping rhythmically against the glass. How? She whispered. Do you fight a species willing to burn itself, just to deny an enemy? Trellm said nothing. No calculations, no strategic quips, no dismissive wave of his hand. Only silence. Around them, life at the bar resumed. Cheers, arguments, the clink of mugs. But at their table, the weight of ancient ice and desperate fire held them captive. 3 warriors, 3 survivors, 3 beings who realized, for the first time, that perhaps the humans were not merely survivors. They were extinction when necessary, and they had chosen it willingly.